Welcome back, everyone. For today's video, we are back to face off against some of the great bots on the site chess.com. Now, for the month of September, chess.com has released a new set of chess piece bots, and one of the bots in particular has caught my eye. That bot, of course, being the Queen, which has a rating of 2735. It is also my understanding that this bot is modeled after the strongest female player of all time by the name of Judith Polgar. So this bot has a strong rating, 2735, could be very dangerous, and let's see how I'm going to fare against this very strong Queen bot. So I'm going to start with the white pieces, and I'm going to play the move pawn to e4 here. Let's see what the bot chooses to play. It plays the French defense with e6. Now, as I don't have a feel for how strong this bot is, I'm going to play standard opening theory. I'm not going to try and play these hyper modern setups, which are very slow and sort of anti-computer chess. I want to play very straightforward because I really don't know what 2735 means. This bot could be very strong and just crush me. It could also be a bot that objectively plays at a weaker level and makes a blunder somewhere and loses the games. So I'm going to play knight e2. This is, of course, a classic trash variation of the French defense. We get c5, and now I'm going to take the pawn on d5. Now, of course, I'm making a joke when I say the trash defense, but knight e2 is named after the famous German doctor and strong chess player Siegbert Tarrasch, and so, of course, we just shorten that to trash. So let's go knight f3 here. Developing D's knights. Black temporarily is up a pawn, but white gets very fast development here. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces on their original squares. So I'm going to castle. We're going to go knight b3 here. I'm going to look to take this pawn on d4 if possible. I think I will already just I could play a4 here, which is a move. In fact, I think I'm going to go a4. Why not? Just stop b5. And my idea here is actually I want to go queen to e2, rook to d1, take this pawn, and get a lot of play in the center immediately. If e5, I can still take due to the pin of the king. We take back. And I feel like I've got a pretty good position here. We get e5. Now, this move might actually be very strong. I already thought I might be much better here. But if I take bishop g5, I just like it. Let's take. I'm going to go bishop g5 here. Pressure the knight, pressure the bishop. A lot of pressure in the center here. We got bishop to e6. Now, this move looks kind of weird and maybe wrong. Maybe it's completely fine, but it just doesn't look right. So I'm going to trade the bishops. I'm going to take, of course. And I'm going to go c3 here. Reasoning being, I want to get rid of this weakness. I create this chain of pawns. And my argument here is that black has these double pawns that are just simply very weak in the position. And I should be quite a bit better. So we got rook a d8. So after rook a d8, how do I try to put pressure on some of this? Knight's kind of in the way. It clogs my threats on the file. The queen guards the knight. How do I do this actually? Not so simple. Not so simple at all. Knight d2 is playable. Very boring kind of dry move. h3 is a very thematic move, but h3 also potentially creates weaknesses in the long run on diagonal. What do I want to do? Knight g5 makes sense. Knight g5 may be very reasonable, in fact. But knight g5 takes rook d7, and how can I be better is the question. Probably I can't, but I still think it's a safe move to play. So let's go knight g5. Let's trade our knights off the board. We're going to get rook d7. I'm going to drop the bishop back to stop this bishop c5 threat on the diagonal. We get rook f7, and now I have to find some way to prove that these pawns are super weak. Now a5 is maybe a move. Queen g4 is a move. Queen g4 with f3 actually has some merit here. In fact, I kind of like this idea. Queen g4, rook f5, f3. There is bishop c5. So, like my bishop's in the way to attack the pawns. Rook d2, of course, makes a lot of sense too. King h1 also probably makes sense. Does king h1 make sense? I'm not so sure that it does. In fact, c4 is a move. Queen d3 is a move. I think I'm just going to play rook d2 here. Solid move, guarding the pawn, intending to double stack. We get bishop c7, very reasonable. And now I have to come up with some plans. I should be better here objectively, but it's not an easy position to play. So I think I'm going to go for h4. Just feels a little bit loosey-goosey. I think I'm just going to play. What do I want to play? My pawns here are a little bit weak too. If I could get c4, b3. I think I'm going to go c4 with the idea of b3 here to create this nice little chain of pawns. That I can still play rook d1. I assume bishop b6 is the idea. Not very happy. Rook d3 I can't play. Rook c2 seems playable. I mean, I am yielding the file potentially. We get rook f6. Idea, I guess, to play rook g6. Let's go here. If rook g6, I'm just going to play g3. I know it looks a little bit weakening around my king, but I still feel like my position should be relatively safe here. If I could just put my rook on the d file somehow, I would be better. If I could just get this rook to d2, I'd be better, but I can't. So I'm gonna need to do some like maneuvering. I'm gonna go rook c1 here. My idea is to play rook d3 and rook d1. Go rook d3 maybe. We get e4. Somehow I've misplayed this. I feel like I felt like I should have been better, but now the problem is I still can't get the rook stacked on the file. If I could just get the rooks here stacked, I'd be fine, but I can't stack the rooks, and I might actually be in a little bit of trouble here after rook f3 potentially. We got bishop c5, which could be dangerous. I can go rook c3. I don't like my position here. I'm gonna go rook c3 to guard. Oh, did I just blunder rook f2? I might have blundered it, but I think I'm still okay. I actually missed that rook f2 right away was a line, but I do have the two rooks here, and the two rooks should be relatively stable. I can go rook. Oh, I blundered queen h5. Ay. But wait, no, I've got rook h1 maybe. Okay, now I attack the pawn. If I can get my rooks to stabilize squares in the center, like if I can get this rook to e1, I should just be winning. But I don't actually get that, unfortunately, and I feel like somehow, oh, did I have rook d? I think I had rook d8 and h4, which I missed. I missed rook d8. If I had found rook d8, I would have probably won this game. Now it's going to be very tricky to win. I could go king g1 maybe, but if I go rook e4, queen f5, king e3, check, king d3, that should be okay. Actually, that should be okay. King d3, queen a3, king c3. I'm gonna trust my instinct that this isn't losing. I don't think it's losing. Check, I run over. Queen f6, okay. Obviously go rook to d1. I need to activate my rooks at this point. There's no better way to play this. So I go here. Is there some kind of weird draw? Queen e1, king d4. I think this is going to be a draw, unfortunately. If I go king f4, king f4, there's probably queen f6 at the very least. Also queen b3. So let's go here. We're gonna get okay, queen c2 is not the move that I expected at all. Maybe now there's some chance for me to trick the bot. I do have rook d8 and king e5 maybe. King e7, still very tricky. Very tricky position to play. Usually in endgames, unless the two rooks have very obvious squares, the queen is generally a better piece. Go rook here. I'm gonna go here. Guard the rooks. We got queen there. Okay, I could go a5. I don't think I should. I should probably just take this. This is just going to be a draw, though. No way for me to win this. I think if I had played rook d8, I would have had chances to win that endgame. Maybe chance to win. Probably still a draw, but some chances. Now I think the game just dies immediately. I take. I don't actually have a really good choice. I could go a5 to try and play rook c1, but I think it's just way too slow. Let's just take. Takes. I just block with the two rooks here, and now I just simply have to make a draw. I guess I'll go king e5. Why not? Queen f8. I don't actually know what queen f8 does, but I am kind of putting my rooks on these weird squares where there could be some issues. Yeah, I'm kind of putting my rooks on these very awkward squares that I shouldn't be putting them on. Maybe I go rook c4. Maybe just h4. Not king d5 because that's mate in 1. Queen c5. I don't want to blunder that. Rook c6 doesn't make sense. Rook f4 is a move. I don't love it. Rook d4 is probably reasonable. Rook d6 seems fine. Go over. Queen b7. I should just go back. If b5, I can take the pawn. I think I'm just going to go rook e6 here. I basically have to try and make the draw. I don't really have many options. I'm going to run the king back to the king side, make the draw, and that actually should. When I say make the draw, like it's not actually really all that straightforward. When I say that, I should have gone king e5 and made. Actually, why didn't I go king e5 and then I would have had an easy repetition. Okay, so let's see. So if I go check here, check. It actually is not as simple as I thought it was initially. The rooks are kind of misplaced in this endgame. I guess I'll go here. and then here. I think I have to try and make a draw. Get G6. So the bot is still trying to win this game, which is interesting. I think I should check the king back. Yeah, it's still going to try to win this endgame, which is I'm a little bit surprised by, but I feel like there should be a relatively easy way. Maybe G4, G5. Actually, H4 maybe. Let's just go H4 here. Probably going to go B4. No, okay. Not King G4 because the Queen F5 mate. I just keep the king here. Okay, Queen G2. Oh, great. I blunder this too. Wow, I'm actually finding some very creative ways to misplay this endgame. Wow, this actually is very tricky. Guess I'll go here and King D2. It's actually very problematic. I mean, I think I still should be able to draw this game, but it's not going to be easy. Let's put it that way. G5. I'll take this. King is cut off by a row, though. So it's really hard to believe that there isn't some way for me to create counterplay. It's really hard to believe. Like if I go rook D5, there's B4. This is very weird. Very weird. King B2, there's Queen E5. If I go rook E4, Queen G2. If I go rook E7, check. King C3, check. King B. Maybe I can play rook E7. I go rook E7 with the idea of the checkmate here on D8. Check. King C3, Queen F6 though. Rook E4, check. King D3, Queen H3. So how? There's got to be some way to draw this. But if I go rook D5, B4, rook D3, you can also play rook D3 right away. Still feels like there's got to be some way. I'm gonna play this. I don't want to waste all day on this game, so let's go rook D3, Queen G4. Okay, now can I go rook C7? Check. Here, check. King C1, Queen F4. Still so many tricks here. So many tricks. No, I don't want to put that rook there. I can also play rook D5 maybe. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna try to bring my king and activate it if I can. Actually, I missed King F8. That's a very good move. Let's go here, I guess. Now I'm just gonna start moving fast because I've definitely misplayed this. Again, though, I don't know how am I supposed to stop both the pawns? It's very weird. It's almost like there isn't an easy way to stop the pawns. Go here, I guess. G4, rook D4 maybe. Although I think I actually figured out how I'm supposed to stop the pawns here. Or though, no, now I just blundered this one. Yeah, this should have been an easy draw, but somehow I misplayed this. And now I think I'm gonna lose the game because I'm in Zugzwang here, right? If I go here, there's B4 or something. I don't know. I'm still gonna move fast at this point. There's probably some way. There was probably some way for me to draw this. And now, if I take the pawn, there's B2. Rook B4. There's Queen F1, I assume. I guess we're going to see how well it can play this endgame, actually. Okay, so let's go here. We're going to see if it actually has table bases as well. I'm kind of curious. Go here. Walk the king up. If it has table base, it will know how to win this. If it doesn't have table base, it probably won't. I can't go there. Yeah, it knows this by heart. Go here. I could have definitely put up more resistance than I did in this game, but still. Go here. This is actually a theoretical win because there's wow, just too good. Okay, let's go again. I'm gonna play with the black pieces. Let's play with black and let's go second game. Now, what my view of this bot is that this bot is not 2735. It played that game very, very well. It made a couple of slight mistakes in the middle game, but it played the end game nearly flawlessly. So I don't think this bot is 2735. I think this bot is substantially stronger, and the rating they give it is actually inaccurate. So I'm gonna be a little bit more careful this game. Let's go bishop c5. Let's castle, play rook e8 and d5. Still should not have lost that game in that end game probably, but playing h4 was very stupid. So we get d4. Okay, so let's go bishop b6 is a move, I believe. The spot is playing very, very sharp openings also, I'm noticing. Okay, we get rook e1. If I go d6, there's d5. If I go a6 takes, if I take, there's e5. Why do I feel like somehow I've misplayed this again? It's because I probably have. This is a real problem. Could try a6. A6 takes, knight e5 c5. I'm gonna go for something a little bit weird here. I'm gonna play a6. I'm gonna go for c5. Oh, we got bishop a4. That I did not expect. Okay, so it didn't take the knight, so I'm gonna go back. Okay, strange. Okay, I could go b5. I think I'm just gonna go knight b8. I have a very ugly position here. I should have played b5 right away. This is really ugly. What am I even doing? Problem is I want to go d6, but I can't do it without losing the rook. I could go knight g4 maybe at some point. I'm gonna go h6 to stop bishop g5. Get knight c3, logical move. Maybe I can just go queen e7, rook d8 and d6 somewhere. I'm gonna try to go d6. Maybe I'm gonna get a little bit lucky and defend this. Okay, if I get d6, I'm still obviously worse here, but at least I'm gonna have some chances, I think. So now what I want to do is I want to bring my knight to the king side, bring the knight back, play knight g6. This bot, by the way, definitely not 2735. This bot is playing like a monster. This bot is nowhere, or bishop d4, there's queen d4. This bot is nowhere near 2735. The rating they have on this bot is 100% dead wrong. So let's go a5 here. Try to open up the queen side maybe a little bit. Okay, we got the capture. Go here, take the pawn. Could have played knight d7, knight c5 also. Wasn't that insane? Go here. I am getting pretty much just soundly outplayed though in this game. Just soundly outplayed. This is not even close. Go knight d7. I'm probably gonna go to an anti-computer strategy in the next game or two. Because this bot is not 2700. This bot is literally like playing it like a, I want to say a 3000 level. It's hard to judge what computer levels actually are objectively, but this bot is just crushing me in this game. So if I take, I can play c6 here. I mean, it's just a very ugly position. Takes. I could also go bishop d4 to try and keep the game going. I feel like I should actually go here. So if I take and white activates the rook, I'm in all kinds of trouble. We got bishop c2. Now that move, however, feels touch weird. I will say about the bots, usually the one issue with the bots at this level though is that they will generally make a one move blunder somewhere in the game. Usually that is the one thing that does generally occur. I go b6, takes, bishop b3. I still have nothing. Takes, or just rook e4, I guess. But if I go b6 takes rook a2, that might be might be something. Okay, let's go for it. I'm gonna go b6 here. We got takes. I can take with the queen. I could take with the queen. Actually, it's an interesting question, but my gut instinct is I should take with the knight. I just need more coverage on the king side somehow. So we get takes. I want to go rook a2. We get takes. Oh, I didn't see queen. Oh wow, queen b3 is, oh yeah, that's a great move. I go rook b2. I mean, maybe I can still draw this game somehow. Takes. Maybe I can still save this game, but maybe I'm actually not doing so badly here. If I trade, I think I should be able to draw this game. Come to think of it, with the blockade on the dark squares, actually, I should be able to draw this. Looking at this dark square blockade that I should have here, I think I should be able to draw this somehow. If I go knight c5, bishop c5 is the reason. Full move. Maybe I'll just go here on knight b6. I feel like I should be able to draw this game. But we'll see. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I can't draw this. But if I just wait. F4 I can just take. I'm just gonna go back. Probably gonna try to move the bishop somehow, like bring the king and move this light square bishop. Okay, bishop d2. Still not really worried. I think I can still go here on bishop c5. If g5 I can just trade. Okay, h5 can't. Okay, now I think I just set up a fortress. Set up a fortress. I can always trade the pawn. I just bring my king around, and this bishop can never get in because the knight cuts the squares. Take. Yeah, and I can even go knight e5 here, which is what I'm going to actually do. Just put the knight on e5, hit all the pawns at once. And this actually, if anyone's, well, I guess black can't be better, but this will be a very easy draw. It's probably going to play a bunch of moves here, I assume. Oh, wait, wait a second. It's trying to bring the king. Wait a second. I got a little bit sloppy here. It's trying to bring the king in. And I did not actually see this. So I think this is not simple somehow. Wait, what did I just, why did I move this knight? If I'd left the knight on b6, it was just a simple fortress. Okay. Guess I'll move the knight. I'm gonna have to go for a new setup here. Put the knight on c5, move my bishop, I think. Put the knight here, I guess. I can go knight b3, maybe attack the bishop. Go. This is not easy. This is not easy. This still should be fairly safe. I shouldn't really be in danger of losing. So here, attack the bishop. d1, let's go. Knight f1, knight e3, maybe. This is somehow I've completely messed this up. Let's go here, I guess. a5. Okay, I have knight e4 and knight f2. I think I should be okay here. But again, this is very, very tricky. Very tricky. Go here. Maybe it's not tricky. Maybe I just put the knight on c5. And I just sit. With bishop c7, I have bishop e5. Okay, now I just start waiting again. The good thing is we've also played a lot of moves here. Like we've played 51st move. We're on move number 69 at this point, so it shouldn't. The bishop can't get in either. This bishop can't get in. The knight cuts a square. If white could get the bishop to e6 here, I think white might be winning, but the problem is white can't get this bishop in because the square is always covered, and it's the only way to activate the bishop. Okay, bishop. So now now the bot's trying to go for a new idea with bishop f4. So I go knight b3. There's the idea of knight d4. Wait, what? Oh, knight d4. It's going to move the king. Okay. I have to go here. What if like somehow I misplayed this? Somehow I feel like again I misplayed this. Like if I check now, the bishop's going to get in. But actually, is the bishop going to get in? So if I check. If I check and I just keep waiting, I don't think the bishop gets in. So the bishop goes this way. I'll go here. Somehow I feel like I've misplayed this. Somehow I feel like I'm going to lose this game. I don't know why, but I just feel like it. But white can't move the bishop because then the knight's free. Yep. I had a wait. Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to find a way to lose this game, and sure enough, I did. I found a way to lose this game. If I'd left the knight on b6, it would have been a draw. Because now there's bishop a3, and I can't stop it. Unbelievable. Actually insane. Okay, let's do one more. I'm gonna play with the white pieces, and let's try one more. I'm gonna play anti-chess now. My view of this bot is that basically it will make mistakes early, but in the end game it plays perfectly. Like it passed some move, it just plays perfect game. So I'm gonna go to anti-chess, play knight e2. For anybody who wants to play this bot, by the way, do not assume the rating is correct. This bot is not 2735. This bot is much stronger than that. Let's go a3. I want to see if anti-chess is going to work though, because so far I've seen nothing in the bot that makes me think that it's actually any worse than actual stockfish. Go here. Yeah, this bot actually is very strong. This bot is not 2735. Go here, king h2, f4. I can go f4 right away. If knight c3, I go queen e1. Or knight h5 or something. I mean, like I'm just getting blasted this game. Just getting blasted. There's gonna be some knight h5. Yeah, this bot is strong. Too strong for a weak human like me. Way too strong. Let's just take. I could have played g4. No, g4. There's knight e2 and queen g3, I guess. Knight g3. I'm definitely worse here, but the funny thing is, even though I'm worse, I don't feel like this is the end of the world, strangely. Like, I don't want to go f5, but I think I have to do something really fast here. How do I attack on the king side is the question. If I go bishop d2, there's queen b2, queen c1. Queen g3 is the move I want to play, but it doesn't quite work. f5 doesn't quite work. f5, I think I'm going to just go king h1 here. I want to go rook g1 and bishop f1. This is very slow, but I think it's the best that I have here. Maybe I should play f5 somewhere, actually. In fact, I should have played f5, I think. Because now there's going to be something really bad happening in the center of the board, I think. Go knight h4, maybe. Go bishop f1. Trying to get queen g3 in at all costs if I can. I do get queen g3. There's no knight e2 because the bishop covers. Like maybe there's some hope here. Maybe bishop d2 just hangs a3. I go bishop b2. That's also an option. g2 is an option. I really need to get f5 somehow though. So I think I'm gonna go here. Oh no, I just blundered f5. No, f5. I've got queen h5. I guess we get g6. Very good move, obviously. We go f5, g5, queen h5, gh4. Not happening. Just not happening. I could sack, but I'm just gonna lose the game anyway. Yeah, this bot is simply too strong. This bot is just much too strong. I go f5, g5, knight g2. No good. Let's just go here, I guess. Trying to keep the game going if I can. I'll go here. Looking for a sack if I can get it, but again, there's no good sack here. So I'll go here. There might be a sack now. Okay, still doesn't sack. Looking for this here. Trying to angle. If I take, there's nothing. f5, g5 doesn't work. Like everything's just misplaced. This knight, I need this h pawn, but the knight's in the way. Bishop d2, bishop a3, takes is no good. Probably no good. Not a guarantee. Guess I'll go here. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just like I'm trying to do something and I don't know. So I'm gonna start trying to be and now there's f5 as well. Yeah. But I do have knight e1 maybe to hold the pawn. Go h4, h5, try to attack. Oh, it just says bishop a3 and I don't even have time to play knight e1, so now I've got to go h5 and I'm desperately trying to do something on the king side, but this is even b5. Even b5 is good enough, I think, to win the game here. If I go queen h3, go here, I'm trying to attack if I can at all costs. Go rook b1, attack the pawn. Probably just gonna ignore it. Like it's just gonna go a3 and just ignore everything on the king side. Let's go. I mean, we'll go here. I'm gonna sack and go knight h4, knight f5. Okay, it goes queen e6. Wait, queen e6 though is interesting. So that's an acknowledgement that the pawn push wasn't instantly winning, although I guess there's still knight e3 anyway. Yeah, let's go here. Knight g4. Yeah, way too strong. Okay, I'll do one last game. This video has already run a little bit long, but let's do one last game. I'm gonna try my best to play a real opening. One last game. I should have drawn the third game, or the second game with black. I should have drawn that one. Okay, let's go back to basics. Play the same opening. Let's take. Go here. Takes knight f5. This bot easily over 3,000 though, easily. So I have not come close to winning in any of these games at all. Let's go king e8. Very solid approach. Probably play h5. This is what's known, of course, as the classic Berlin defense. The end game. Very good. Very good base of knowledge as well. Let's go bishop e7. Go bishop e6. Playing very fast here too, which is a little bit disconcerting. Let's play bishop d5. It's just playing straight up theory instantly. Let's go here. I take with a pawn. Goes bishop f4. Play h4 here. I don't even know if h4 is best, but I think it's reasonable, so I'm going to play it anyway. Rook h6, of course, I think rook h6 is the correct move. And now I'm going to go rook h6. Idea rook g6. Take with the rook or the pawn. If I take with the pawn at e6 takes is fine. If I take as c4, I don't know. I'm gonna take. Maybe I'm blundering something here, but it doesn't look like it to me. Wait, so am I blundering? Oh, there's just rookie. There's just rookie one. There's just rookie one at the end. Oh man, rookie one, knight d4 maybe. Knight d4, rook g6. Yeah, I had a feeling that there was probably something here, and sure enough, there was. Now, if I take and play rook g6, how bad is that? That's not great if I sack the rook, but on the other hand, I'm not actually convinced that this is completely lost either. I go like rook g6 is not. If I go rook h8, there's c4, so I have to force it to do something. I guess I'll just go here, force the capture. I'm gonna play like g6, c6. I'm definitely worse, but I'm not sure how much worse I am here. Okay, bishop b8 is a strange move. I'll just go a6 here. Okay, bishop e5 doesn't really do anything specifically. Okay, so now I've got my setup where what am I down? I'm down a rook for a piece and a pawn. I could play g5. I don't really like g5 because it puts a pawn on a dark square. Bishop f6 also looks kind of reasonable, but bishop f6 white will take. I'm gonna go for it. I don't know, maybe it's not right, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, so if I take and go g6, go g6, lock the knight in. I can play rook e7, king d6. Is there c5? Oh, there's c5 here. Yeah, it's just too good. It's just too good. It's just too good. I guess I'll go here, knight f7. Yeah, that's just too good. Probably gonna go like f4 or something. Yeah, now there's gonna be an f4 at the end as well. Just insane. Actually insane. Actually insane. This bot is not 2700. I could actually wait. I could go knight f5 here maybe, and walk the king over. I just realized. Okay, but now I get king. As soon as I say that, it does something that I think is a little bit dubious. Literally, as soon as I say that, it does something that I think is actually kind of very dubious potentially. It just got its rook trapped. What is it doing? Wait a second. If I go a5 takes rook a8, rook here, I've got to try. I'm not sure. As soon as I said that it's playing at a really high level, immediately it makes a huge blunder, which is kind of very funny actually. So let's take, because what happens is rook suddenly got stuck off sides completely. This rook got completely stuck. This rook can't go anywhere for the rest of the game. Okay, now do I take c5 or a4 is also a tricky question. I think I should take a4 because f4 is hanging here. But now, okay, so if I go here, there's rook b8. Rook c5. I can also tickle check. Check king f3. I don't actually know if there's any value to it, but I'm going to play it anyway. king f3. So make a draw here. It's just a question of whether I want to make a draw. Now it's actually trying to play for more. How do I do this? Rook c3. If I go d4, rook d4, rook g8, knight g3, king d1, knight e4 or something. Rook c3, rook b8. There's no way to actually win here. I can make a draw if I want to. If I want to being the keyword. But is there any way to play for more? I'm trying to figure out. Like d4 is no good. I'll obviously keep just checking if I want to. I think I'm just going to check again. Yeah, actually, I had a feeling it was going to do this. So I'm going to check. Now, if I go rook a2, king c3, rook a5, there's king b4 maybe. But I don't believe that it's going to make the draw. I think it's going to try to play on at all costs. Of course, sure enough, it doesn't. Now it does not play on at all costs. Okay, so we get king e2. Is there any way forward? d4, rook d7. d4 is the only try as far as I can tell. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play d4. Okay, king d2. Now that's an interesting choice. I do have knight e3 takes knight c4. King e1, d3, rook d7, check, king f2, d2. Interesting. Let's think about it. So if I go, or knight g3 also an option here. Knight g3, rook d7, knight e4, king c2, d3 takes, check, takes. That's winning, but king c2, d3, there's king b2. Knight e3, knight g2 also. Knight e3, rook h4, knight g2, rook g4. Knight e3. I mean, there are ways to play this for more, but whether I can actually make it work is the question. I can make a draw by just repeating. Nah, let's go for it. I want to go for more. Let's knight e3. Okay, let's go for more. Let's play knight e3. I'm gonna take the pawn. If rook h7, I just take the pawn and I just run my king up. Bring the knight back. I have knight c4 here. I have knight f5, knight d5. I feel like I should have a chance to win this somehow. It just really feels like there should be good chances. If I go knight d5 here, I attack the pawns. Rook d7, knight f4. Knight f4, I have wait a second. A knight f4, there's rook d4. What am I doing? If I check, rook h3, of course, also move. King f5, also a move. I feel like there should be some way to play this for a win. Maybe rook a5, rook d8. Rook a5 actually. Rook a5, rook d6 takes, rook e1 takes, rook d4. I mean, I feel like I have a chance to win this if I'm precise. Knight f4, king e4. Oof. I don't want to lose this game either, though. That's the other part of this equation. It's really annoying. So I really don't want to lose this one. So if I go rook c3, c1, rook h3, rook d6, check, king d3 takes. Still very hard to win this. Very, very tough. Knight f4 is at least a draw. King f5, king f5, rook d6. Check, king d3 takes, king c4. Okay, I think king f5. No, but king f5, there's rook f7. King e4, rook d6, check, king c1, d3. I'm gonna go. I don't want to go for it, but I'm gonna go for it. Okay, rook e1, which of course is also a move that I completely missed. Yeah, actually, I completely missed this move, and now there's rook f7, and I'm just dead lost. Frustrating. So I check. I think I have to go check. King c4, c2, king b3, check. I think I have to go for this now. Oh, king d1. That's not actually what I expected. Wait. I expected king d3. Wait. Now I can run with my king closer. Wait a second. Knight here, king here, rook 6. King d3, rook c6, king c3, rook g6, d3. Wait a second. Knight c3, king c1 is a forced draw of knight e2, knight c3 for infinity. But I want to try to win this game. I want to try to win this. So first I'm going to go for the tickle. Now I could check and take c5 also. I could go for this one. Very tricky. King d3, king d2 with check, and c5, c4, c3. Or I go king d3 right away. King d3 forces an endgame. White will have to sack the rook. Rook c6, king c3, king b1, 2, king a1, d3, c6, d2, c6, rook b6. I think that's winning actually. But actually white can take c6. Here takes rook c6. Rook c6. d3, rook e6, king d4, c6, king c3. Huh. Why do I have a feeling this is actually winning somehow? I have a feeling that this is winning. I don't know why, but I just feel like this is winning. I can make the draw with check. King f3. Wait, king f3 also moves. King f3, rook d4 check. Here takes knight c2. But king f3 actually also king f3, king b1. So that doesn't work. So oh, king d3, there's king b1 as well. Actually, I just realized king d3, king b1. White doesn't have to sack the rook. Oh, so if white doesn't have to sack the rook, then maybe I should just check and go king d3 like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go check and take the pawn. I'm gonna go king d3 here. King f3 and d3 also is possible. I feel like somehow I need to box this king out if I can. Check must be correct. I need to force the king away. King c1. Okay. Again, I can obviously make a draw, but I don't want to draw. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna play c5. So c4, c3 incoming. h4. Still feel like I should be winning this somehow. I don't know why, but it feels like this must be winning with the two connected pawns so far up the board. Go c3, rook h2. Still very tough. I have rook h5 here maybe. c3, rook a2, rook here, rook here. Very tough position to win. Not expected 2785 bot to put up this kind of resistance, not gonna lie. Okay, let's go c3 makes sense, but it also doesn't. I think I'm just gonna go c3 though. It has to be the right move. a4. If I go rook h5, there's something c2, there's just check. If I go rook f5, there's rook f5, there's rook h1 takes h5, and probably somehow I can't stop the pawn. Although I do have knight g4, rook h3 check. I go rook h5. Wait, I've got maybe knight c4, wait, I have knight c4, knight d2 maybe. Wait a sec, knight c4, rook h1, knight d2, rook h3. Oh, this feels so close to being winning. Knight c4, rook h1. I go knight b2, check, king, knight b2, rook a8. c4, rook h1, knight d2, check, king e4, h5. Check, knight b, check, king d1. Go knight g2, there's rook d1. I think this is actually just a draw. Unless I have some trick with like rook b2 maybe. I go rook b2, rook h1. Check, rook d2. h5, c2, king b2, rook d1, rook h1. a1, knight c4, king a2. Takes to, I mean, I don't see it. I actually don't see how I'm supposed to win that position. Knight c4, rook h1. c2, rook h3. Knight e3. Rook a1, and white's still surviving. Actually, c2, there's always rook a1. So basically, I have to find something here that magically defends everything, and I have an attack. Knight g2, rook d1 loses. If I go rook b2, rook h1, there's just no way, because I can't get this pawn. I can't push this pawn forward. Rook b2 is the only move that makes any kind of sense to me here, but it's just not good enough, I don't think. And if I play King C1 at the end, there's nothing. Rook F5, Rook H1, Rook H5, Rook H1, Rook H5, Rook H1, King E4 maybe. Rook H3. Go king. What about King E4 right away? King E4, Rook here, Rook D5, H5, King F3 or something. Trying to find some way to push this pawn. King E4, King E4, Rook H1, Rook D5, Rook H3, and I still can't run my king. Rook H3, King F5. Wait, so if I go King E4, Rook H1, Rook D5, H5, King F3, H6, D3 is winning. So King E4, H5, King E4, King E4. F5. Whoa, that's not. Wait, what's that? I just take. Wait, so if I go here, H5, somehow now I think this open file means I can't win. It's like somehow if I go Rook D5, H5, King F3, there's something wrong here. There's no F pawn. What's the difference? So if I go Rook D5, H5, King F3, H6, D3 is winning. So Rook D5, H5, King here, Rook here, King G2, Rook D4. What's the difference? There's some difference here that I'm not understanding. Oh, white has a counter sack of the rook that white would not have otherwise, or something. Wait, why did white have to play wait a second. Wait, why did white have to play F5? Rook H1 here is losing for some reason or not? I don't understand why this F pawn makes a difference, but apparently it does. If I go Rook H5, there's still no way to activate is the problem. If I go, if I go King D3, H5, there's no way to win. If I go Rook H5, H3, King D3, there's no way to win this. And if I go King D3, H5, I'm probably going to lose the game. If I go Knight F1. Oh, maybe that. Wait, no, actually, why did it play F5? I'm really confused. Maybe if Rook H1, there's Knight F5, Knight G3 or something. Maybe there's some Knight G3 that I still have, but here I don't have it because there's going to be Rook H4. That's probably why. Actually, I just realized, because here after King E4, if Rook H1, King E4, Rook H1, there's probably some there's probably some Knight F5, Knight G3 type trick that doesn't work for some reason with the rook on F5 versus the rook being on the other square. And if I go Rook H5, the game just ends in a draw. If I go Rook D5, H5, King here, check, King G2, Rook D4, and it's just a draw. Rook H5, Rook F2 is an instant draw. I don't actually see anything better. If I play Rook H5, there's just nothing. There's just actually no way to win this. Really, really sad. Because Rook D5, H5, King F3, Rook H3, King F2, check, King. Rook D5, let's see, H5 here. H5, King there, Rook there. I'm going to try it though. I'm going to try to push the P here. Oh, there's also Rook A2, which I just missed. I just missed this as well. And now white can just sack. Or wait, what? Wait. I go D3? Wait, this got mildly interesting suddenly out of nowhere. Wait, what? Oh my gosh, now the pawn is pinned. When I check, the king runs out. When I check the king the pawn's pinned. Oh my gosh. The pawn is actually pinned. Oh geez. The pawn is pinned. I check and the king runs out and now I can't queen. Actually, again, even more insane. Just when I thought I'd seen it all and it was too insane. I can wait, no, check King C3 and I actually have no Knight G3, Knight G3, Knight E2 or something. This is crazy. Okay, I think I have to check. I have to go here, trying to queen the pawn. Now it's like it's still trying to like play for more or something. This is like hilarious. Wait, now I've got knight e4 and d2. This is actually hilarious. I can play knight e2 and just force a draw. And my gut instinct here is that I actually should just do that. h7, h7, knight b3, king d, knight b3, king c3, rook d8 takes x d2. I go knight e4, king c4, knight e4, king b, knight e4, king b2, check king c1, and it's like king c1, and somehow I don't have king c1, knight c5 or something. So if I check, king c4 d2 is definitely a draw, or at least check king b4 d2, also fine. Check king b3, rook b5, king c4 d2. So knight e4, king b2 only move. Rook b5, king c1. Rook b5, king c1, and then knight c5. Rook d3 is a draw. h7, I have check. Rook, yeah, I think I have to do this. I have knight c5. Yeah, now it sacks, and now we're just in an end game, and I can't win this. Yeah, I guess I'll go check. Rook h5. I mean, I'll play this out, but this is going to be a draw. Actually, maybe this is, no, wait, no, that's not more precise. Let's just go here. Go here. I'm going to bring the knight around, win the pawn, but it's just going to be a draw. Go here, knight g4, of course, or knight f, actually not knight f7 because there's rook f6. Take, and I end up with a rook and knight versus rook, but the game is still going to be a draw in spite of all that. Let's just play the 50 moves very quickly. Yeah, this spot is not 27-35, not even close. Let's go check, I guess. Goes king h3, there's some hope, but of course it's not going to. Let's go here, bring the knight, bring the king. I'm starting this position with the worst possible king spot. Oh, did I just actually, well, I guess that's one way to ensure that it's an instant draw. I just blundered rook a5, but it would have been a draw even if I had moved somewhere else. So all right, let's go knight f2, trade the rooks, and that's going to do it. So this bot, of course, a very difficult bot. It is not 27-35. Chess.com has misrated it. It should be well over 3,000. As you saw from the games, very tough bot to play against, very tough bot to win against. I think I was actually winning that game briefly at some point late in the game. I'm going to pull up a review very quickly, if it actually works. I think for one moment here, maybe I was better. Okay, it's right here. I'm winning here. What should I play? I should have played rook. No, wait, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Let's see. No, this is fine. You guys, I think, can see some of the lines, not all of them. Rook c2 is apparently winning after rook b8, rook c5, rook g8, king f7, and rook c3 and d4 like this. This with the two pawns is winning apparently. Very tough to allow this after a couple of losses. So I go for this. And it's still good after rook c3, but I go for this. Knight c4 is nothing is convincing here, and now it just plays perfectly. Oh wait, what? Okay, wait, what? Wait, king d3 I didn't play because of king b1. Oh, this is actually winning if I go king d3. Okay. Okay, so where's the win? Rook b2, rook b2, rook h1, and where's the win? King e4, h5, b2, king d5. Like this. This is the win. This is how I untangle. Wow, that's very tough to play. I go here, and then it's still winning. Wait, what? Oh, it's still winning because I have the same trick, I guess. I have the same trick with the d3, d2 that I missed. Oh, that's disappointing. Very disappointing. Anyway, you guys, that was a disappointing last game considering I was actually winning. But this bot, clearly very strong bot. not easy to play against, and ultimately I ended up getting 1 draw. Should have been 2 draws out of 4, but I never was really super close to winning, except maybe this final game. At any rate, it was fun to play this bot. Obviously very tiring when every move is so critical, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video of me playing against one of the new September bots. That bot of course being the queen bot. I'll just pull it up one more time so you guys can see it. Under the chess pieces, the bot rated 2735, the queen. If you've watched this video all the way through, I do want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you smash that subscribe button below, and we'll be back with more great recaps and great content very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it and have a great rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.